question 3, 2017, paper 1. And to start out, we have this, find the two values of x for which this quadratic equation here is equal to 0. Give each answer correct to one decimal place. Okay, so that's a straightforward quadratic equation question. Like that's a really nice question there. So we're going to use the formula x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. We're going to fill that in now. So we might open up some empty spaces. So it's minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. And that's all over 2a. And into each space here it's b, which is minus 6, b, which is minus 6, a, which is 3, and c, which is minus 8, all over 2a, which is 3. So we can bash it into our calculator and we'll see what we get out. So we should do that. We should try and do that in one big step. So we start off with a fraction minus 6 plus the square root of minus 6 squared minus 4 times 3 times minus 8. And that's all over 2 times 3. And that's equal to 2.9 or x is equal to, and then I scroll back into it and I change that plus to a minus. And I get minus 0.9. So they're my two answers. And I can check that. So if I go 2.9 squared is equal to, multiply that by 3 minus 6 times 2.9 equals minus 8 is equal to SD, and that's basically nothing. Yeah. So that's our two answers there. Okay. Find the coordinates of the minimum point of the function. Okay, the minimum point of the function. So function there is a really important word because function on paper 1 means that somewhere in this question you might have to do differentiation. And we know that when we're talking about minimum points of functions, we're definitely going to have to do some differentiating. Okay. So we write out what f prime of x is. So i.e. we differentiate it. So that gives us 6x minus 6. Right. And then, well, we know that if this is a function that looks like this or something, it's going to be a u-shaped function, right? So it's going to look like that. And it's going to have a minimum. Well, at the minimum, the slope of that line, the slope of the tangent line at the minimum is going to be 0. So we then force our differentiated function to equal 0. So we now have 6x equals 6, so x must equal 6 over 6, so x must equal to 1. So we now know that x is 1. So we know something about that. We know that that's 1. We have to find out what the y value is. To find out the y value, well, we plug this guy here back into the original function. Okay, so we now go f of 1 is equal to 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 minus 8, and that's going to give us 3 minus 6 is minus 3 minus 8, which is minus 11. So the minimum point is 1 comma minus 11. Let me just check that. 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 minus 8 is equal to, minus 11. So that's that's the entire question 3. Really, really nice question there. Basically just checking your skills, which is what section A should be doing. Okay, it's just checking that your skills are up to scratch. Can this student use the quadratic formula? Does the student know that? First of all, does the student know how to differentiate? And does the student then know that once we differentiate, we let it equal 0 to find minimum points? So that's it.